Hi everybody, this is Sharon from Mad Paper Crush. You may have heard that welcome in many of my videos before, and today you get to see it with my face. I was tagged by Michelle from Country Morning Creations to do the 10 crafty questions. I guess it's a challenge or something like that. So today I'm going through my 10 crafty questions, and I hope that you join me. I do have some notes that I'm going to be referencing, so when I look away, I'm just trying to remember what the next question is. So when you see me do that, that's what I'm doing. So the first question is, what is your name? My name is Sharon Coughlin. And my YouTube name, which is the second question, how did you get your YouTube name, is Mad Paper Crush. And that name started actually with my blog. So my blog, madpapercrush.com, is where my name started. And then I just, had that go to all my other social media outlets. So that's my Instagram, that's my YouTube name. And really, it just comes from my crazy crush on paper. So I love paper projects and everything to do with paper. And so I just have a mad paper crush, and that's where my name came from. Okay, the third question is, what is your favorite craft? And I have done so many crafts throughout my lifetime that it's hard sometimes to choose just because I enjoy creating so much. Right now, making books, journals, planners, that kind of stuff is definitely my favorite thing to do. I also create jewelry, so I have made stained glass jewelry and beaded jewelry with stained glass and with metals. Metal smithing I've done in the past as well, and I love all of those as well. So creating jewelry is another one of my favorite things to do. The next question is, favorite place to shop for crafts? This is a hard one because I definitely don't shop in one specific place or even in regular places. I do have places that I go regularly, but usually I go to those places if I am looking for something specific. So if I have something I know I want or need, I'll go to the local craft stores in my area. So we have a Joann's, an AC Moore, a Michael's, and a Hobby Lobby. So I have the plethora of craft stores in my area. But I will say that oftentimes I don't find what I'm looking for even in those four, craft stores. Sometimes it does seem to be harder to find the craft things that I'm looking for in my local stores. So I also do a lot of shopping for crafts online. So I use Amazon, I use scrapbook.com, eBay, Etsy. Those are some places that I go to find my crafts. And also, the other thing that I do locally, and this is if I don't know what I'm looking for, so if I'm just going in search of inspiration or, additional supplies, like in thrift stores, antique stores, flea markets, yard sales, those kinds of things, I do love to go to those places and look for things, but more often if I go to those, I'm just looking for something that I think might go well in one of the projects that I'm working on. Sometimes I have a general idea of what I'm looking for, or, a certain group of things that I'm looking for. So like I might be looking for great book covers, or I might be looking for books with great illustrations in them, or I might be looking for, little metal pieces that I could use for charms or findings in jewelry, or for, tassels and things on my journals. So those are the kinds of things that I do when I'm shopping for, just in general, to go to local stores looking for used finds. The next question is, top 5 crafty YouTube channels. Once again, this is a tough one. So I watched several of these 10 crafty question videos from people that I follow, because I watch their channels, and they said the same thing. This was really hard to narrow it down to just 5. I watch a lot of different YouTube channels. I think I'm subscribed to over 80 channels. And while I don't watch all of them all the time, I do watch a lot of them, more than 5 for sure. So the ones that I picked here are definitely not my only 5. They're definitely not necessarily my top 5. They're just, 5 that I watch often. because I have so many. So the first one that I have to mention is Nick the Booksmith. Nick the Booksmith is the one that got me on my junk journal journey here that I'm on right now. And so I have enjoyed watching her videos, and I've taken her classes, and she really has been an inspiration to me to do the projects and things that I'm doing right now with junk journaling. The next one I wanted to mention was Darlene McConaughey. I think that's how you say her name. I really enjoy watching her videos. I like her style of books and journals and different things that she makes, and she has some great tutorials as well. I also want to mention Frauke from The Quiet Rebel. And I think I met her first on Instagram, and I sort of, traveled over to YouTube to kind of see what she was doing on YouTube. And I love the journals and things that she makes, and I love her videos. They're very well produced and fun to watch. And then the next one I want to mention is ArtyMaze. You may know Andrea from ArtyMaze. She makes a lot of wonderful junk journal digital kits that she sells on Etsy, and she has a great Facebook group with all kinds of people. But whenever I watch her videos, I learn something new. So she does a lot of mixed media in her crafts, in her projects, and I love watching how she creates. It's really just amazing. And the last one I'm going to mention is Aloha Creations. So Aloha, that's her name, from Aloha Creation, makes beautiful journals and has some wonderful flip throughs, and I enjoy watching her videos as well. So those are 5 that I'm mentioning for YouTube channels. The next question is favorite color. And I can honestly say I really don't have a favorite color. There's definitely not something I'm always, looking for or going to. I will say, as a general rule, I like sort of earth tones, earthy, muted kind of colors. So think burnt orange or olive green or something like that. I kind of like those colors better than like neons or fluorescents or things like that. But I like all the colors, so I can't really tell you what my favorite color is. The next question is my favorite craft tools. This was a hard one too, because there's so many that I go back to again and again. But I will say my number one tool is my computer. So I enjoy making digitals, things that I can put into my craft projects. I love to make collage and different things that I can print out and add to my projects. And so my computer is definitely my number one tool that I use for making my journals. The next question is, where does your love of crafting come from? It's definitely my mom. I remember when I was young, she taught me how to crochet. I wanted to, make a blanket, I think, or might have even been, I wanted to make a hat or a scarf or something. And she taught me how to crochet so that I could make my own things. And she also taught me how to sew when I was young. So when I was in middle school, she taught me how to read a pattern and to cut things out and make clothes for myself. And so my love of crafting definitely came from her. I remember watching her make things for other people and make things for us as well, me, my brother, and my sister. So I've watched her craft, and that has instilled in me the same love for crafting. When did you first start crafting? Well, I think from the previous question, it was pretty young. But I remember probably in elementary school or even before elementary school, my mom with another mom in the neighborhood would get our kids together around Christmas time, and we would make Christmas tree ornaments. So they would gather up the supplies and everything we needed to make something out of whatever they were working with, and they would teach us how to do it, and we would make these Christmas tree ornaments every year. I remember making Christmas tree ornaments from dough, rolling them out, sort of like making cutout cookies, and then we would bake them and paint them and that kind of thing. I remember making Christmas ornaments from macrame. I remember making Christmas ornaments from melted plastic cups. So we melted plastic cups and then we decorated them with glitter and ribbon and stickers and little figurines and things like that. So, and that was very young. That was preschool or, elementary school for sure that I was doing those kinds of things as well. So I started very, very early and haven't stopped since, in case you didn't know. And the last question is favorite crafts so far. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. If it means, you know, the favorite over the years of all the different crafts that I've done, what my favorite crafts are. Definitely it's the journals and planners and notebooks and things that I make right now. But I also love jewelry, which I had mentioned before. Okay, so if this question means the favorite crafts that I've done so far, I'm just going to show you a couple of my favorites. So this first one is a journal that I made for my daughter, and it has a lacrosse theme, and I made it from a book cover. So it's called American Pep. My daughter loves America and she's peppy, but the thing that I liked about it was it's a lacrosse theme. So it has all kinds of, you know, I put rules from lacrosse. I printed them out kind of in an old type print and put them in there. I have these wonderful old pictures of women's lacrosse teams with their old lacrosse sticks, vintage lacrosse sticks, and things throughout it. So I love this one just for that reason. And then this is just a planner I had made. I was working at an office at the time when I made this in 2016, a couple years ago. But, you know, I just felt like everything there was plain and boring. So I wanted to have my own creativity with me while I was at work so that I wasn't feeling so not creative, or whatever you might want to call that. So I made this cover, and I just recently posted this on my Instagram, and I really loved the way it turned out, and it was so bright and colorful that, you know, I had in meetings, and it just brought me joy, made me happy. And then inside, it was definitely a junk journal style, but back then I don't think I had made any junk journals yet. And I used some of the papers, the digital things that I had used were from Tangi Baxter, if anybody's ever heard of her. She had a little class called, what was it called? Tangible Plans. And you could make these wonderful planner pages from them. And so I had done that throughout this book, and I loved using it every day. I didn't even use all of it, but I loved it. And the last craft that I wanted to show you is my lap book. So this was a book that was done with Nick the Booksmith when she had done a series on making a lap book. So we had taken 2 books and we made this amazing fold-out book that has all these pages and flips and tucks and pockets and all sorts of things in it. And I have a flip on my channel of this as well, and so I will link that and the flip of my American Pep journal down below, because I have flips, or have, you know, YouTube videos of both of them down below. So that is it for my 10 crafty questions. And the last thing that I am to do is to tag some other people to do this same thing. So the first person I want to tag is Michelle from Tape and Twine. She's my real life friend that I met online, and I would like her to do the 10 crafty questions. Frauscha from the Quiet Rebel Journals, I would like her to do the 10 crafty questions. Andrea from ArtyMaze, I hope that she can do it. I would love to hear her story. And then also Aloha from Aloha Creations, I would like you to do the 10 crafty questions as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I hope that you will, and I will see you in the next video, friends. Take care. Thank you.